Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Glenn Calloway coming to you from the basement. Welcome to the working week. It is Monday. Today, I am going to talk about an album that was a huge hit in 1984. I think it was released late 83, right around the time I bought my first CD player. And this is probably one of the first CDs I ever bought. But anyway, I was at a thrift store the other day and I picked this up for a couple of bucks, and I thought, I got to check this out. I haven't heard it for, I am going to say, at least so 84, probably since the late 80s. So 90s, 2000s, 2000, like 35 years probably since I heard this album. And I thought, is it one of those albums that was from its time and it doesn't stand up today? I got that feeling, kind of like you got that, like, this is, how did I ever like that album? But the album I'm talking about is Huey Lewis and the News Sports. I loved this album when it came out. It's a fun record. There's not a bad song on it. It's great. Like it was released. It says September '83, but I think it took a while before it caught on. Because 1984, it was the second biggest selling album behind Michael Jackson's Thriller. So that was a pretty huge album in itself. Not bad company to be in when it comes to record sales. Um, this was the third album from Huey Lewis and the News. Now, I found out an interesting tidbit here. I just found this out yesterday, and I had no idea. It shocked the hell out of me. I'm still trying to figure out how I didn't ever know this. And this is where my comment, welcome to the working week, comes in. If you know where that's from. This album, Elvis Costello's debut from 1977. Do you know who the backing band was on this album? It's not the Attractions, although Steve Naive's on this. It was a band called the Clovers, who were from San Francisco. The Clovers consisted of members of what became Huey Lewis and the News. Huey Lewis was in the band, and few other people. So I don't know the band members. You can read. So the problem is, because of contractual obligations, most of them didn't get credited. Now, Sean Hopper is the one. He was the keyboard player in the News that did get credited, but the others who played on the album didn't. Um, Huey, I guess when they were in discussions to work on the album, Huey, I've read an interview, said with Elvis that Elvis said, I got a couple of tracks you might be able to play on, but nothing really much harmonica wise, right? So Huey and one of the other guys in the band who wasn't going to play on it either, they took a trip to Amsterdam while the other guys recorded this album with Elvis Costello. So pretty cool bit of music trivia there if anybody didn't know that. Anyway, this reached #1 in the charts, and it charted for 160 weeks. 4 top 10 hits: Heart and Soul, Heart of Rock and Roll, I Want a New Drug, If This Is It. Like I said, second biggest selling album behind Thriller. I mean, wow. I've been listening to this for the last 2-3 days and just absolutely loving it. If you're a newcomer to this and you weren't around in the 80s, you might want to check this album out. It's kind of fun. It's got harmonica, guitar, horns. It's and they kind of incorporate a lot of like just straight rocks, pop sensibilities, bit of like soul stuff with when the horns come in. Harmonica is very bluesy. It's just kind of a blend. It's a nice blend of all the genres of music that we kind of make rock music popular, and it's great. My favorite songs on this, man, Heart of Rock and Roll, I think it's a great song. This album just does not have a bad song on it. I'm sorry. Heart of Rock and Roll, Heart and Soul, Bad is Bad, I Want a New Drug, Walking on a Thin Line, Finally Found a Home, If This Is It, You Crack Me Up, and Honky Tonk Blues, which is a Hank Williams song. And yeah, just it's killer album. Check out Sports and let me know if you were a fan of it. if you think it kind of sucks now of its time, I think it still stands up, and I would never have known this until I picked it up for $2. What else is coming up in the world today? I'm going through my Frank Zappa box set, the Overnight Sensation box. First impressions, the new album mix is really good. There are some outtakes and demos that are kind of interesting, but nothing that I heard that I would go, wow, how did they leave that off the album? So far, to me, the star of the show has been the Hollywood Palladium show, the live show. It's frickin' fantastic. Yeah, I haven't listened to Cobo Hall yet, the other live show that's included. I'm like 3 discs in on this thing. I'm really trying to give it a serious listen, so I'll do that. And we're involved in our CD exchange. I got CD album exchange with myself, Larry Graves, Steve from All the World's a Stage, Marcia P., and a gentleman named Chris Levine, who's a podcaster and threatening to make YouTube videos, which would be very cool because he's a pretty knowledgeable guy and very likable, and I think he would have a great channel. This week, no one's picking any of the albums. Watch Larry's channel, and you can watch the show. But in 2 weeks, no one's picked any of my picks. I offered up Lowest of the Low, Shakespeare in My Butt, which I don't know why nobody was curious about that, because it's such a great frickin' album. And Spirit, 12 Dreams of Sardonagus, most people were aware of it, and they kind of stayed away from it. And I ended up with Queens of the Stone Age and a Eddie Vedder album called Into the Wild, which I understand was a soundtrack album. So Queens of the Stone Age was Songs for the Deaf, I think. So I got to listen to those this week and review them. We're coming back next Sunday and recording them. It'll be on Larry Graves' channels. There's a view videos up now where we reviewed last week's albums. He'll be putting up a video probably today with the other stuff. Live chat coming Wednesday night. Sam St. John's back from holidays. We got to come up with a topic. If anybody knows any good chat topics, leave comments. Anything you'd like to hear talked about, we're open. And that's it. So check out Huey Lewis in the news. Let me know what you think. I'm really digging it. I'll talk to you later.